News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini. The death toll in Central Texas and realization of the magnitude of the tragedy there rising as floodwaters in the central part of the state recede.
This was a massive tragedy, hands down. We are hitting from our flood maps. We're seeing some areas where it's hitting the 100-year flood.
Kerrville City Manager Dalton Rice. At least 51 people are known dead so far. Dozens still missing, including girls at Camp Mystic. Kerr County resident Travis Buck expressing frustration over what he claims was a lack of adequate flood alerts.
There could have been better evacuation routes when they see. Yeah, I understand when you see it coming, there's really nothing you can do about it. But when you've been getting warnings since, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock the night before.
Hundreds of people rescued, many clinging to trees in Central Texas. More flash flooding is forecast in the Central Texas area in the coming days. Investors keeping a close eye on trade talks between the U.S. and a slew of countries as we near that July 9 deadline for countries to get trade deals with the U.S. finalized or else. President Trump says otherwise the countries will be hit with those reciprocal tariffs starting August 1. The U.K. has a deal with the U.S., but multiple other trading partners do not. S&P rose slightly to a new record high Thursday before the long holiday weekend after a stronger than expected jobs report, but Stephanie Roth, chief economist at Wolfe Research, says don't pop the champagne corks yet.
This is something that we were kind of warning people about, an environment where the steady state pace of hiring comes down pretty substantially and the unemployment rate starts to fall. Because we're in an environment where there's a significant detraction from a foreign-born population, and that puts downward pressure on the unemployment rate. It reduces the unemployed people, and at the same time, it lowers the steady state pace of hiring.
Roth there on the Bloomberg Surveillance podcast, which you can download wherever you get your podcasts. Investors this coming week also looking ahead to the release Wednesday of minutes from the Fed's mid-June meeting for any clues on direction of interest rates. Billionaire Elon Musk getting into politics in a major way. Musk announcing on his X social network a new political party, the American Party, is formed. He says to, quote, give you back your freedom. The announcement coming a day after President Trump signed that tax cut and spending bill that Musk has denounced that will end a popular $7,500 consumer tax credit for electric vehicle purchases like the ones made by Tesla. And Musk had previously threatened to launch a new political party, and he vowed to boost his political spending to unseat lawmakers who voted for the bill. In the Middle East, ceasefire negotiations facing a new setback. Israel's Prime Minister's office saying in a statement, changes Hamas is requesting to make to the Qatari proposal were delivered to Israel and are unacceptable. That's after Hamas said it had submitted a positive response to the U.S.-backed 60-day ceasefire proposal that would see the release of some living hostages and some hostage bodies. Top officials from BRICS nations, including Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and Iran, meeting today in Rio de Janeiro, are expected to speak out against positions held by President Trump on trade and tariffs. China imposing some reciprocal curbs on certain medical device procurement for companies based in the European Union starting today. OPEC Plus boosting oil production more than expected for August. And we could learn more on a possible buyer for the U.S. operations of TikTok, currently owned by Chinese company ByteDance. President Trump says the U.S. will discuss a TikTok deal with China tomorrow or Tuesday. President Trump previously said the buyer was a group of wealthy entities. The Secret Service is expanding a global push against crypto scams. Bloomberg's Monica Rix explains.
The Secret Service's Global Investigative Operations Center is now training law enforcement in more than 60 countries to help them combat digital crimes. Agents say scammers target victims with fake cryptocurrency investment sites and show initial profits to encourage more investments, then disappear with the money. But experts say all it takes is digital tools and patience to help trace and seize these assets. Fraud tied to digital currencies now drive a majority of U.S. internet crime losses. Last year alone, Americans reported more than $9 billion in crypto-related scams. Older victims were the most susceptible. Monica Rix, Bloomberg Radio.
And in sports, round 4 today at Wimbledon. Getting a lot of attention, Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz, or Alcaraz as some say, his matchup with Russian Andrei Rublev today. And in the women's, a lot of drama. Emma Navarro beating defending Wimbledon champion Barbora Krejcikova yesterday. And that means there will be a first-time winner on the women's side again this year. And that's news when you want it. With Bloomberg News Now, I'm Denise Pellegrini, and this is Bloomberg.